up, I would like to introduce a woman of vision that is so powerful, and her personality gives everybody energy. It's larger than life. She is a philanthropist, and she is the founder of JFC. Please put your hands together. Let's welcome Camille Robb to the stage. Here she comes. Feel the energy. Please give her a round of applause. We're excited. Here she comes. Camille Robb.
Woo! Dad, you touched my heart. You rocked it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Guys, my heart is here with you because before I get started, is it okay for me to share a little bit of my story? Hey, are you sure? Are you ready for this? So, when I started on this journey, little do I know that God had this all planned out. And in my family, I found out there's a generation of pastors and deacons, and I'm not one of them, just so you know that. See, I had to make you laugh. But the journey that I started out is when I was born in Jamaica. And a lot of you guys don't know that, but I am a Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica to a very young mother. And then came two siblings. So, when it comes to food, I experience it. So I know what it's like, wanting and not having. And on the other side, when I was with my grandmother, we had more than we need. My grandmother had a house that became a home for a lot of people that's looking for that extra stuff. I've seen her put a pot on the stove that never got emptied. Because every time she goes in it, she said, God, please let me be a blessing to others. And every time she put a plate of food on the table, somebody else come, there's more food coming out of that pot. As a child, I used to think it was a very magical pot because this woman always have food, no matter what. But the experience I had is when I had to transition from her and trying to figure out how to feed yourself as a child is very painful, especially when you have two other siblings that you have to make sure that they're taken care of. I came to this country when I was 18 years old and experienced the same thing when I was working at a daycare center. I was like, this is America. Children should not be hungry. But guess what? They were hungry. 27 kids were in my classroom. Have you guys ever seen the movie called The Gremlin? Yes? Let me see your hand if you ever seen the movie called The Gremlin. Tell your neighbor, if you never see that movie, go watch it. And you'll see what I'm talking about. When a child is hungry, just watch that movie. They come in and they look at you and you don't know what's going on. But as soon as that pain hit, the brain sent off some very nasty stuff. And they start buzzing and carrying on like they're crazy. And I've seen that before, so I know what I needed to do. And I did that. Fast forward today, this guy right here, Johnny, I was on my way to LA and he gave a phone call. I put him on speaker and he was talking about his vision that he had. And I'm saying, everybody have vision. But people keep saying, I'm trying. Erase that. I don't want to try. I want to do. People always talking about, I'm trying. He said, I want to make sure vision come alive. And I need you to come and speak. I never met him like that before. I'm like, I don't know this guy. And my husband said, just listen. Just listen. And he started talking about the same thing that I want to do. Make sure every child have food, clothes, and shelter. But then he sprinkled a little bit of popcorn and a movie on it. And I was like, and immediately I went back into the days when my grandmother had a theater. And my uncles and everybody come together, and kids would come in to the theater and have popcorn and a movie, no matter how old the movie was. And I'm like, that sounds good. But I'm on my way to LA. I can't. I have business to take care of. He said, but I want you to come. You're coming, right? And in my mind, no. And in my mind, no, I have to go. My ticket is paid for. My husband said, yes, she's coming. I'm like, how is she going to come and she have a plane ticket? He said, I can see his heart. And he's smiling. I said, okay, I'm coming. That day, when I walked through the door and I saw him and he hugged me, I felt my soul move. When he said, I'm so grateful that you're here. I took that and I ran with it. I went to Congo, where I have my children that I send to school and I provide education for, and I feed them, and I provide services so that their parents can make money. The day when we got off that plane and we were greeted with all the excitement and the love, we didn't have a bag. They took our bags. The day before we left Congo, that bag showed up. The only thing was in it was the popcorn. Just think about it. If that wasn't meant to be God showing me that he's still working, I don't know about you. But we got excited. We went to the little village and everything set up. You know, we think everybody has a popcorn because everybody in America has a popcorn, right? You have a popcorn. You have a microwave, right? Raise your hand if you don't have a microwave. Okay. So I guess we all in because all of y'all have some microwave. So we had to leave and go buy a microwave. You think that was going to stop me? No. My husband said, okay, let's go get a microwave. When we start popping those popcorn, you should see the kids. They were like this. Yeah, because they're hearing it and they're bouncing. And then they had their tickets. Because we had everything. We had the popcorn, everything. We were like, they were outside waiting like this. 37 kids were outside. We're on the ground. Not any chair in the theater like you guys are used to. We made a makeshift red carpet with plastic. And we let them walk the carpet, pick up their tickets. They sat on the floor. And when we came out with the popcorn and we sat on the floor with them, and you take a look at the youngest one's face. First popcorn. But when that salt and that butter hit that taste bud, the eyebrow went. And then he was like, and looking at the other one like, you better not touch mine. The thing about us here in the United States, we take so many things for granted. We have become a very selfish world. We are so focused on our needs and not the needs of others. But do you understand that when you give to the poor, you have a big residual income from God? If you don't know what's going on with your neighbor, you have a problem. My husband, we have a garden. And in that garden, every time something come up ready to feed, he goes, dig it up, take it, knock the door, and said to our neighbor, hey, I got something for you. He feeds. A lot of people say, why don't you sell the stuff, Mr. Robb? He said, I got plenty. If I ever need the money, I can sell it, but right now I need to feed my neighbor. How about you? Do you know what's going on with your neighbor? Do you know your neighbor's name? One of my church sisters saw a young man fell out on the floor, watched people pass by. She stopped, helped him up. Today he's doing very well. How many of you would have done that? Our problem is that we need to figure out who we are and remember not to be selfish. We can't feed everyone, but everyone can feed someone. But it starts with you and you and you. Stop waiting and stop trying. Just do. Be that person that's going to step up and say, I am going to help my brother. I am going to help my sister. You remember the saying, I am my brother's keeper? That's just not a slang. That's real. Do you understand that? That's real. The vision is for you. We all have vision, but our problem is that it's so packed down with all the stress of the world. If you have a gift, that everybody was given a gift from God, you take that gift and you share it with your neighbor. You let them know that you can make a difference. I have a young man that when I first met him, he was 16 years old. No mother, no father, sleeping on the floor. Now, he graduated, one of the top scholars in Congo. Why? Because one husband, one wife decided we're going to make a difference in one person's life. It's a ripple effect. Johnny is my big brother. And I knew that the day when he hugged me. I don't hug everybody because not everybody have a good spirit. So don't get offended if I don't hug you. My spirit have to agree before I hug you. Just so you know that. Because inside of me is a gift from God and I don't want it to be tarnished. And for the people that are out there using my face and my smile, remember, God is watching. And He do not like bad spirit. This is a promise that I made a long time ago to my grandmother. Because she said to me, that smile on your face, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the world. So you need to keep that smile on your face all the time, no matter what. And sometimes it hurts. And I still have to stand tall. And I have to smile. My brother and I have been through some things to get here. And we have made it here. And look at all the people that show up to celebrate. You know why? Because you're celebrating from your heart, not your eyes. Everyone can see the vision, but until you can feel it, you can't achieve it. Did you hear what I said? So the people that are in the room today, it's all about the heart and making a difference. Sola, she came all the way from Canada. This is the first time she's meeting me. People came from Australia the first time they're meeting me. Why? Because they're traveling because of their heart, not their sight. It's not what they see. They feel what I'm doing. So when you leave here today, you will never be the same because your vision will come alive and you will fly like an eagle. We don't have time for those black crows, okay? Straight up. We don't have time for crows because we are eagles and eagles fly above no matter what. So, The power is in us. The love is in your heart. And I have to tell you, you all know the love that I have for children. And the event today, I was so blessed and honored when Johnny said, every ticket comes in, going to benefit my children. Now, I can head to the next country that's waiting for me to experience the popcorn and the movie. Thank you, Johnny.
Good job, Camille. I want to take a quick second here and just think about that for a second, that there's actually humans and children in the United States that don't have food that we take for granted. And Johnny and I talk about, and Caroline, that no child of God should ever feel the pain of hunger. That hunger is real, and it affects the soul and affects the body. And if you think about the purest form of this nation in the world, is it's children. They're our future. You know, maybe our generation didn't get it perfect, but they could get it perfect. And it's because of people like Camille that are angels here on this earth that we have. And so, Camille, thank you for being part of the Global Vision Conference.